Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Today we are going to talk about skin, specifically fair skin like I have. I'm sure you've noticed I have nothing on my face. I do have eye makeup on, and I need to put on some chapstick because my lips are dry. Okay, so anyway, today I'm going to be talking about fair skin. I'm sure you can tell I am very, very pale. Even with this white shirt, my skin looks super, super white. Okay, so if you have fair skin like me and you are prone to acne like I am, it is so, so hard to find a good foundation because darker foundations obviously are going to cover blemishes such as this big bad boy down here and all these little red spots on my face. Darker foundations are so much better to cover up acne. A big mistake a lot of girls with fair skin make, including me, I've done this in the past, is using foundation that is too dark for them to try to cover up things, and then just using bronzer to make your neck and stuff match. But then when you hold up your arm, so when you do that, you hold up your arm and it doesn't match your face at all. And of course, you can always self-tan or do tanning beds or whatever it is you like to do. But if you're like me and you don't do any of that stuff and you're stuck with your fair skin, you really need to find a foundation that matches you, because dark face and light arms is just not a good look at all. I've done it. I used to be so bad for it, and yeah, it's not a good look. Okay, so if you do have fair skin like me and you're trying to cover up things, these are the things that I really recommend getting. Number one is to get a good foundation that matches you. Right now I'm using the L'Oreal True Match in Alabaster. It is C1, so this is like the lightest shade in the cool toned, which is what I am. I have a lot of pink in my skin. Next thing I highly recommend is getting a good sponge. There's the Beauty Blender, and then this is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge or something like that. And I haven't used the Beauty Blender yet. I do want to get it, but so far this has been like amazing. So if you don't want to spend like the $22 or whatever the Beauty Blender is, get you one of these for like $7. I got this one at Ulta, but I think you can get it other places too. I'm not sure. But yeah, you need to get you something to really blend it out, because that's going to help make your skin look a lot smoother and a lot more porcelain. Because when you have really pale skin, you want to go for the porcelain look, because you're not going to have that sun-kissed look or the real like glowy look. So I really try to go for the porcelain doll fair skin kind of look, because I just embrace my fair skin. So yeah. Next thing, if you are prone to red marks and blemishes, get you a green concealer. I know that sounds so weird if you haven't ever heard of green concealers, but green cancels out red. So if you get a concealer to put on some of the red spots, like all around my nose here, I stay really red, and then just spot it on some of these, it really helps. This is the e.l.f. one. This is actually the Zit Zapping Concealer. I have seen other girls use green concealers that really do help cover up and mask the red. And you don't want to go crazy with it, because you don't want to look like the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz either. But yeah, this really, like, this is a pretty good one. This one's cheap, and I wouldn't say that I don't recommend it. I don't think it's probably the best one, but I mean, it's still pretty good. Another thing is, when you have pale skin like me, you are very prone to dark circles. I mean, I don't have the worst dark circles in the world. I've seen girls with pale skin that have a lot worse than me, but I still have them. So you want to get you a good under eye concealer. This is the Tarte one, and it's supposed to be the creaseless concealer. I do not love this. This is just the only one I have right now. But I would not rebuy this at all. It's supposed to be full coverage, creaseless, waterproof concealer, and it creases so bad. Like when I put it under my eyes, I can see all my little lines, and I really have to like work on blending it, and then I have to make sure and set it really well, because it's just like, yeah, it's definitely not creaseless. Like, I feel like it sinks into my lines like a lot. And I mean, the coverage is pretty good though. It does have pretty good coverage, and it does, you know, hide my dark circles and stuff. But I think I'm going to try something different after this one. I mean, this ain't horrible by any means, but it does sink into your lines if you have a lot of lines under your eyes. And last but definitely not least, this is something that I never ever want to go without, and that is a good powder. And I use the Airspun Loose Face Powder. I get this at Drug Emporium, or I think you can get it at like Walgreens and stuff. Oh my gosh, this stuff is the best stuff ever. It's the translucent powder, so it doesn't really have any color to it, but I don't know, it just makes everything look so good. Like, it makes everything look smooth, and it really does, like, I think that it covers because it's like really light, and if you put it on enough, like, it just, I don't know, it's perfect. Like, I love it. The only thing about this is it's messy because it's a loose powder, and when you put it on, it goes everywhere, and you have to dust your vanity off and stuff. And sometimes it gets on your clothes, and you have to kind of dust it off. But other than that, I just think that it is perfect. I recommend it 100%. It is the best powder I've ever used. I have bought this several times, and I have never regretted it. And as soon as this one's out, I'm going to get another one because to me, there is nothing better than this for my skin. Seriously, love it. Love it so much. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of show you how I put everything on and the order I put everything in on. The order in which I put it on my face. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of show you. Normally I do my face first and my eyes last, but I didn't want to get on here looking completely dead, so I did put some eye makeup on. But yeah, I'm going to show you my skin routine. Okay, so I'm going to get up in the camera a little bit here, and I'm going to use my e.l.f. Green concealer, and it just kind of twists up like this, and it has a little felt applicator, and I'm just going to kind of put it over some of these red spots and a little bit in through here because I really get red. Okay, and I just blend this out with my finger because I don't like to get the green on my beauty blender. Okay, next thing I do is use my concealer and put a little bit under my eyes. And I kind of put this under my eye and on my whole cheek area. Now this is really good for like this area if you have a lot of redness and you want kind of like that highlight looking look. It's good for that. It's just not my favorite under eye concealer because I feel like it goes in my lines. But as far as like coverage, it's fantastic. And then sometimes I just kind of put it over some of the little spots as well. Okay, and then I just take my beauty blender on the pointy end and kind of blend all this out. Okay, now I am going to use my L'Oreal True Match with my beauty blender, and sometimes I spot this on my face, and sometimes I put it directly on the sponge and then sponge it on my face. So I'm kind of liking it that way right now. And with this sponge, I like to use the flat end, and then I just kind of like put a little bit on each section of my face with the flat end, and then I just kind of start patting it in. And when you get around like these little creases and places, just turn it on the pointy end like to get between your eyes. And like I said, normally I do this first so that I'm not having to like watch out for my eye makeup and stuff. Okay, so most days I just do this with my foundation, but on days when I'm really having kind of like problem skin, like with a lot of red, kind of like today where I have some of the red spots, I will put a little bit more on this sponge, not near what I did the first time, maybe like a fourth of what I had. And you see it's just like a itty little bit, and I just kind of stick that here and here, and then like on some of the little places where I have more red, and I'll just kind of blend a little bit extra on because this foundation is very, very buildable. And then what I do, because this bottle, sometimes a lot of the product will get on the edges, I'll just kind of take the corner, not the corner, but the tip, and kind of just swipe around it to get any extra product that I don't want to just dry up and go to waste in the creases. I'll just kind of take the corners and go right here in my nose. because I have a lot of redness there. That way none of your product is going to waste and it's drying up in the lid. And then sometimes what I do, just to make sure everything's even, I'll take this and lightly just kind of roll it on my skin. Very, very lightly. I don't, like you can tell, like the sponge really isn't even pressing in. I just kind of do that to make sure everything's smooth and even. Okay, so the next thing I do is set everything in place with my powder, and this is seriously like the most important step to me. Like, I love this stuff. And for under my eyes, I use this little brush so I can get in there good. And then for my face, I use my big powder brush. And I'm going to do one side of my face with this so you can see the difference. And I'm going to put this under my eyes. And what I do with this brush, instead of like dipping it and then like start rubbing it in, because rubbing it in, I kind of dip it into the powder and dust it, and then I kind of like press it onto my skin first, because if you just start rubbing, it's going to go everywhere and you're going to get a lot less of the product. So you can kind of see how it goes on, and then I just kind of start buffing it in. And you can like see it still flying everywhere. This stuff is so messy, but I love it. Okay, so here is one side with and one side without. I don't know if you can really tell the difference on camera, but like the way it feels, like this is so like sticky over here, and it just feels so soft and just smooth over here. I feel like it really gives me like a very porcelain look. Like, I don't know, I just feel like you can just tell the difference. I know I can, but I don't know if it's showing up on camera. But I'm going to do the rest of my face. Okay, so this is my face routine as far as like all over face. I do contouring and stuff, and I'll kind of show you that here in a second. But yeah, nothing else goes all over my face. I do not put like any bronzer all over my face because, like I said, I am not a tan person. I'm a pale person, and if I put bronzer all over my face and try to give myself like that sun-kissed glowy look, it just looks weird, because then I hold up my arm and it does not match. Now in the summer when I get a little bit of a tan, I will bronze myself and kind of give me that glowy, shimmery look, but whenever I'm pale like this, I just like a matte finish on my face, and I just like it to be matte and smooth like a doll. But I do some contouring. I'm not going to go into like full demonstration with it. I'm just going to kind of show you like a before and after. I'm not going to like show you how I do every step, because I probably will do a contouring video later. But yeah. So this is my face with just my powder, and I'm going to contour my cheeks and my nose and put on some blush and maybe a little bit of highlight, and come back and show you kind of the difference. Okay, so here is my face after I got done contouring. You can see I add a little bit of color right here in the hollows of my cheeks, and then just some blush, and then I just add a little bit of bronze up in my temples just to give my face some shadowing. But for the most part, my skin is still very fair. None of this or any of like this or my chin or my nose, all of this part is still just, nothing has been added to it at all. Just some contouring on my nose, my temples, and my cheeks here. But yeah, so this is my skin routine, and I think it's pretty good. Like, I don't think that any of my blemishes or anything like pop out at you. Like, I feel like it covers it, but still, like, the color's good. It looks pretty natural. I mean, obviously people's gonna know I'm wearing makeup, like, duh, but I feel like it matches my overall coloring good without like being too pasty, like, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, so if you're a fair skin, just embrace it. Unless you want to self tan, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, if you have pale skin everywhere and you're not going to cover your arms and everything, then really you just need to embrace it and make your face match, because that is one of the biggest makeup mistakes, in my opinion, is face that does not match the rest of your body. And like I said, I've made that mistake 100,000 times. slight exaggeration, but still, you know what I mean. But yeah, so there is nothing wrong with being pale. Snow White was pale and she was the first princess, so yeah, I like it. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope I helped somebody. If you have gorgeous, tan, glowy, dark skin, bless you, because yeah, that's just awesome. But if you're like me and you look like Casper the Ghost, then I hope that this helped you and that it gave you some tips on what to do. It takes a little bit of work to get your skin to look really flawless when it's so pale, because everything shows up on it, every little blemish and red mark. It's just like pow in your face. But it is possible to make your skin look good even with pale skin and red marks. It just takes a little bit of effort. Like I said, green concealers, a really good powder, a good under eye concealer for dark circles. You can tell that my dark circles are not showing. It is a little bit creasy, like I said before, but still, once you set it with the powder, it's not too bad. But you can still kind of see how it's sinking into my creases a little bit in my bags, but oh well, I can live with it. It's better than dark circles. So yeah, I feel like my skin looks pretty smooth considering it's not really that smooth. But yeah, it just takes a little bit of extra work and effort, but I promise you it is so worth it to have skin that matches your body. That is, yeah, definitely. Embrace your Snow White and just go with it. Don't try to be Jasmine if you're Snow White, okay? Just don't do it. I've tried it and it does not work. Unless you're going to tan or fake tan or whatever, don't try to do it, because you can't be Jasmine here and Snow White everywhere else, because it just does not look pretty. It doesn't, okay? Trust me, I know. But yeah, so I'm going to quit babbling now and talking, and I hope that you all enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. If you have some tips for me, for like pale skin, and good foundations and powders and concealers, especially concealer. I'm really on the hunt for a good concealer for under my eyes. Like I said, this one isn't bad. I plan on using all of it. Definitely, I'm not going to throw it away or anything, but I think I want to try something different next time. So if you know something good, please let me know. But yeah, like this video, leave comments, and please don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, so now that I have nothing else to say, I will leave you with goodbye and see you next time.